It's only a matter of time before 100% renewables, Josh. Don't you see? Don't you see? The UK, they had 100% renewables one day, and we're there, almost there. I hear this all the time. It's sad how ignorant people are on this. It's just sad. It's not happening, my friends. It's not. The only way this could happen, it was a massive increase in electricity storage by batteries. There's just no other way around that. And then we're not even talking about transportation, whatnot. We're just talking electricity. It's just not happening. We had a good debate the other day with my man Jason Proctor from Fighting Words Financial. A big fan of Jason. I enjoy our debate. Just one of the issues that we have is, you'll see these little headlines that say, "Oh, UK went 100% renewable for the first time ever," and then Germany did this and that and the other, and people just they need to hear. I'm not saying this to Jason. I just say there's many people who just need to hear that. The renewable energy stuff has taken on a religion. It's actually kind of sad. Again, not saying it's my man Jason. Jason's a realist. I completely get that, but man, you should see some of these people I follow on LinkedIn and stuff. I mean, they really feel it's like just around the corner. Not till batteries. I mean, and the batteries we have now it's not going to work. So let's dive into the Great Britain grid. I love this thing. It's a Great Britain national grid status that comes out every day. I'll put a link in the show notes. Gridwatch.templar.co.uk. And I just love it. So basically what we're going to see is here's their demand right now in gigawatts. And if I can make that a little bit bigger, I don't know if I can. This is the total demand of the entire country, but not plus exports, less any unmetered generating sources like wind that include an estimate but including an estimate for solar. The amber warning represents the demand level that cannot be reliably met by wood or fossil fuel burning and nuclear generation, but must be augmented by imports or unreliable intermittent renewable energy. So did you hear that? The amber. That's the amount that cannot be reliably met by wood or fossil burning and nuclear, right? But must be augmented by imports or unreliable intermittent renewable energy. All right, so if we go over here, so right now they got a demand of 32.74 gigawatts, and what's that? About 10 o'clock in England right now, or UK. Of that demand, 15.5 or 47% comes from combined cycle gas turbines. Are gas turbines whose hot exhaust are used to drive a boiler and steam engines or steam turbines. This two-stage process makes them very efficient in gas usage. They are also quite fast to get online, less than an hour in general, so they are used to cover profitably peak demand and to balance wind output. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. Okay, so basically half the percentage of the demand on the grid right now comes from combined cycle gas turbines. 15% comes from the evil nuclear. Currently, the UK has 7 AGR designs and 1 relatively modern PWR. Nuclear power stations are run flat out to maximize income. Since the cost of fuel is almost significant, it pays them to sell at any price they can get. Variations in output are generally signs that refueling or maintenance is ongoing, so they can keep a base load essentially. Biomass are getting 5.1%. What is biomass? Well, this is what I was telling Jason about. These power stations are either old coal plants that have been converted to run on imported timber. Drax 2 they talk about, thus enabling them to qualify as renewable and gain subsidies thereby, or purpose-built biomass burners like Stevens Croft 40 megawatts built to use sawmill waste. Imported timber, cutting down antiquated old growth forest in North Carolina, North Alabama, going up through Canada and putting them on a boat using fossil fuels to ship to the UK. Great. Now they do get a third from wind. So, and there you go. So wind, this is the total contributed by metered wind farms. Wind power contributes about another 30% from embedded wind turbines that show up only as a drop in demand. Wind, like nuclear, will sell into any market price because turbines are expensive. Wind is not, and subsidies are always paid. The variability of wind leads to very high fluctuations in output. That's the issue. Whereas, so this, look right here. Did you see what they say? They're quite fast to get online. That's a combined gas turbine, quite fast to get online. Wind, on the other hand, is intermittent. The variability of wind leads to very high fluctuations in output. You can't have high fluctuations in output without a steady base load to hit that. You just can't. And that's the whole, you can't do it, man. So right now we got 47% coming from gas, 15% from nuclear, 5% from biomass. So that's, what's that, 60, 70% and 30% from wind. I mean, there you go. And then we'll see if we see over here. I mean, it's nighttime, so you're not going to get any solar, but right there, nothing. Solar PV as no solar PV photovoltaic that's turning it into electricity. It's metered centrally. We cannot show accurate real-time figures on solar PV. Let's see, and obviously because it's nighttime, but this is still pretty cool. We got coal. Coal is no longer the largest contributor to the UK grid as gas prices are currently low and legislation has forced closure of most plants. Drax also co-fires biomass with coal, which allows them to gain access to renewable subsidies because of the old growth forest. Coal plants are now restricted in running hours for emissions, so land to run only in winter when prices are higher. But it's still the wintertime when it comes time to heat your home, they're going to say it's okay. Let's see here. We got open cycle gas turbines without steam. Open cycle gas turbines are gas turbines without steam to maximize their efficiency. They're cheap to build but expensive to run, so they're seldom used except emergencies in winter when very high market prices of electricity make them profitable. High market prices of electricity. I just see this what I'm talking about. I've done so many videos on this with high market price electricity, especially in the Northeast when they're shutting down the pipelines, freaking Cuomo. Then we got French interconnector. This is a 2 gigawatt bi-directional link to France, which is able to import up to 2 gigawatts of power from France, usually in the summer when France has nuclear power surplus. And export in winter when the UK's excess of backup plant and coal power can be properly sold to meet continental shortfalls. I want to see if they see anything on Germany. No, Dutch. But anyway, so I love this. I can look at this stuff all day long. So we look at daily demand. You can see 30 gigawatts goes down here. That's about 10 o'clock. It's going to right here. It's about midnight there, I guess. And then it's going to go down to about 4, and then it's going to go back up to 30 gigawatts daily demand. And then right here at night times, it starts going down. Daily nuclear production. That's the green right there. And this is the red is the right here. That's the combined cycle gas turbine right here in red. And here's the nuclear providing a lot of that. The blue is probably wind, right? Yeah, the wind, right? So look at this. Here's the problem, man. Right here at night time, there is no wind. So the wind starts kicking in right about 600 in the morning. And at the afternoon, the late afternoon, it gets windy like crazy. But then from basically, it looks like it's basically not getting anything from about 8 o'clock at night to about 10. Midnight, you're getting a little bit, not much. And then it kicks in where you get some excess, which is good. But you can see nuclear. See how just flat it is? That's what makes nuclear so wonderful. You have a base load constant. It's always there. Nuclear. And one relatively modern nuclear power stations are run flat out to maximize income. Since the cost of fuel is almost insignificant, it pays them to sell at any price they can get. Variations in output are generally signs that refueling and maintenance is ongoing. So basically, look at it, it's just flat. But look at the winds, up and down, up and down. Hydro. You notice there's hardly any hydro here. In fact, there's hydro right there. The UK has no major hydropower stations, but a collection of smaller ones, mainly in Scotland, that provide very useful power. If it's rained recently, there would be a little more, but many stations deliberately reduce output to get the best subsidy rates. Many stations deliberately reduce output to get the best subsidy rates. So here goes some hydro right here. It's about 10 o'clock, midnight, 8 o'clock, 10 and 12. There's a Oh, that's solar. There you go. That's a hydro way down there. So I'm getting a crap for hydro. But here's solar. Again, this is the point with solar too. Look at this. From basically, here's peak capacity right there. So this is the thing where they say you got like nameplate technology and stuff. The basics, how much solar you're getting when the sun's overhead with no wind, and no clouds, excuse me. It's literally directly overhead at noon with no clouds. That's it. That's your peak. You're not getting that 24 hours a day. And everyone says, I got 300 watts on my panel. That's your max, brother. That's your max. You're not getting that 24 hours a day. So here's the solar right here. Here's hydro, nothing. So hydro's a big fat goose egg, essentially, in England. And here's solar. I mean, there's no reason hydro couldn't be kicking in right now. It's not relying on the wind or the sun. But here's hydro. I mean, here's that's the solar right there. You can see. Look at that. It's just it's varying. You know what I'm saying? So you got wind over here. So about noon, and then noon is when the best times for wind and solar are. You're still not getting 100% renewable. That's French. I want to see the weekly demand. We go on. I'm trying to see the wind. I guess they show the wind right here. Yeah, wind right there. So we got what's coal? We got wind. Coal is black right down here. So not much in coal. So wind, yeah, okay. Here yearly hydro pumped biosolar. I'm not gonna be able to read that. I can't tell what that says. Yearly hydro pumped biosolar. So that's gonna be renewables right there. Sans wind. Sans is what we use when we speak French. I can't tell what that says, but man, isn't that I can read this all day long. It's fun. All right, so let's go to links, info, stats, daily demand. All right, so anyway, you're not getting 100% renewable. I mean, until you get batteries, it's just not happening, man. Let's go to stats. Information about user data and bandwidth and joy. Oh boy. Grid traffic. Ooh, look at that. Oh, hey, here we go. This is this is for the website. 219 now. 3750 the last day. Yearly traffic. I love this stuff. I'm such a geek. I should have been an electrical engineer. I'm telling you, man, I love it. I'm not that good. I don't, studying. People force me to study stuff I don't like. That's why I could never go. I could never just say, "Hey, force yourself." Like, no, I download archive data. Ooh, download archive data. Oh man, download data from. This is the estimate output of solar panel power provided by Sheffield University. Must be stressed as a best guess, not an actual measurement. And there are reasons to suppose it's perhaps 10% larger than reality. Yeah, you think? So what does this show us here? Select time of data set. Oh, this would be for right now. Okay, right? Is that what's showing right now? All right, yeah. So select time May 2011. Let's just select it. Let's say, see what happens. What happened? Okay, not sure if anything happened. Save as. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure what happened. All right, but anyway, that was weird. So we got stats, links. Let's check out some links. Probably got EIA on here. I got to think. Well, EIA is American, but political, economic, and social analysis of renewable and conventional energy. There you go. World nuclear news. All right. Anyway, the following useful gain more detail on what is happening in the general layout of the UK national grid and generators and interconnectors connected to it. I love this stuff. So I know. Oops. What happened? I don't want to be like a negative Nelly on this stuff, but the reality is the reality, man. I mean, everything's relying on batteries, and this Tesla's not. I mean, just right now, it's just not there. It's not going to be. I mean, just look. What I'm trying to say is, you got to deal with the reality. The reality on the ground is we are going to rely on fossil fuels for a long time, and people who are advocating against fossil fuels are not advocating for our best interest. That's all there is to it. So just deal with it. Say, okay, well, I hope they get batteries. Until we get battery storage significantly, then it's great to go off grid, go grid tied, do all that stuff. I'm cool with that. But let's not pretend that we're going to go 100% renewable. It's just not happening. I will see you.